Well, we're so fortunate to have in today to the studio a young man from Gainesville, Florida, but goes by the name of Houston Keene. How you doing today, Houston?
Doing great, man. Go Gators.
Go Gators. Yeah. Got you up early in the morning to come out here this morning, huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Had 2 or 3 cups of coffee, so I'm wired. I'm ready.
You're wired, ready to go, huh?
From Florida, straight from Florida this morning?
No.
Right from Florida. Made the quick trip.
Yeah, his arms are tired. Yeah, but you haven't been out to Austin for 3 or 4 months now, right?
Yes, sir. Moved out here moved out here in November, so it's been about 6 or 7. So it's been a while,
but
man.
You've been playing lots of gigs. I mean, you've been playing everywhere. You've got to taste Texas pretty good.
Yes, sir. Well, I blame y'all for having so many bars to play at. That's the issue. I can't deny opportunity. So
that's right. And just like last night, you're playing at Maggie Mae's on 6th Street. That
Yes,
bar
sir.
has been there forever. You know, it's been a long
sir.
time there.
Tammy Miranda, she's the one that hooked us up with this, but she's in charge of running the agency on a lot of that 6th Street stuff. So I'm very thankful for her for helping us out, and she's always looking out for musicians. So it's great to be a part of that.
Well, that's good. That's good too. And when did you first start picking up a guitar? Man, I couldn't get it out there. Yeah.
Well, let's see. I was 23 now, so when I was about 11 or 12, my grandmother, she was a singer in the church, and she was obsessed with having a musician in the family. Well, my dad couldn't pick or sing, so she was pretty disappointed in that. So when I came around as a grandson, she caught me with his old guitar one day. Well, my dad don't play anymore, but he had a little guitar in the closet, so she caught me with that and said, well, we're taking guitar lessons. I said, no. Well, I took about 2 months of guitar lessons. I ended up falling in love with it, and then I, started getting girls in high school with it, and I was like, well, this ain't such a bad thing after all.
Now, at what point did you start writing songs and playing in public?
I've started writing probably about 14 or 15 whenever I wasn't much of a singer growing up, and so I eventually just kind of worked my way into that. And so anyway, started writing songs about 14, 15. Then when I was about 16, I started playing shows around my hometown, like all the bands do.
Now, were you playing with high school guys or were you playing with older guys?
Well, in the bars, I was playing with older guys because they had the in with the bar, and they'd also feed me liquor behind the stage. So, whatever, as a youngin', that's what I wanted to do. And so, but in high school, I'd play talent shows, and I had my buddies, and me and my friends from high school actually we just recorded our debut record. So we actually dropped the single last night in regards to this interview. We just wanted to make sure we had it out there for everybody.
Now you call, with the older guys, were you playing country western music or were you playing rock music with the older guys?
Man, I play rock and roll all the way to the bone. I've always wanted to be a country guy, but I think my voice is just a little too high. So I said, well, you know what, I'll do a little rock and roll. I'm a huge Bruce Springsteen, Bob Seger guy, so any of that is in my alley.
Well, that's great. That's great. That's kind of what we are around here too. Also, well, let's quit talking and let's hear one of your songs here.
Yes, sir. This will be the debut single from the upcoming record. It's called Jenny. She holds a drink like a cheap James Dean in the corner of the bar right on 2nd Street. And outside they're getting wild and loud, and a camera flash could light up this town. Beauty queen with small town dream, a top shelf liquor at only 17.
Nice.
That's the debut single from the upcoming record, available on Pandora and Spotify and Apple Music. Just Google the name, you'll find it.
That's
All right,
a fun song.
yeah, Houston King. And we got to give a shout out to Julie Mercado. We have one of our super fans. She's from Miami, Florida.
Really?
Yeah. So did you hear that, Julie? He's from Gainesville, Florida. So.
Very nice. Nice to meet you, Julie.
There you go.
That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Great song.
It was a great song.
Thank you.
Now, we were talking off the air, it came time for you to get out of high school. Most 17, 18-year-olds, they're trying to decide they're going to the workforce or going to college, and
Yes,
you already had your mind made up.
Well, I did. Let me tell you what really kicked that off. My dad, he owns a construction business, so when you work out in the hot sun, in the Florida sun for your dad, building houses, you decide you're not going to do that, or you're going to go to school, you're going to figure it out. Well, I ended up starting to play over there in St. Augustine right through high school, and when I got out, it seemed like a good avenue of revenue, and so I kicked into that and quit the concrete stuff, and it's been a good time. But I'm a man of many trades. I've worked at a pawn shop selling things, cash money back in Chiefland, and worked as a bookkeeper for my dad as well, so I run all my own QuickBooks on my business, and man, I'm doing it to it.
Jack of all trades here, yeah. Jack
Yes,
of all
sir.
trades. But it was interesting. You told me that you never took an ACT and SAT, that you knew for sure that, hey, you wanted to do the music thing.
Yes, sir. Well, I was hoping the music would work out because God knows I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could take the ACT or SAT. It's a little scary to even think about.
That's great. So, so when you got out of high school, did you, those high school buddies you were playing with, is that who you formed the band with, or did you still play with the older guys some?
Well, so my buddy TJ Brown, he got me started out in kind of the scene where I could start playing in all the bars, and it was, he really got me connected in that kind of thing. And then my buddies from high school, my buddy Zach Petty actually, and Eric McDonald, we went to high school, and we were all together, and we played music all throughout high school. Well, anyway, when we got out, I started writing all these kind of songs. I said, look, man, I'm going to need a guitar player and a drummer. And so they put up with me enough to drive to the studio and record with me all day and sit in the room and have me point fingers, So it was a good time. We went up to Stan Martell Studios up in Kingsland, Georgia to record.
Oh, awesome.
It was very nice.
Wow.
Cool guy.
That is great. Now, do those guys move to Austin with you?
Rent's too expensive, man. That's the issue. And somebody else asked me that I was on Fox News, and they asked me that as well. And I said, look, man, I'm trying to get them out here, but it's a difficult process.
Now, what about yourself? Did you know somebody here, or did you sleep? We hear stories of people sleeping in their cars for a long time.
You know what, man? Willie Nelson slept in a ditch here and there. Well, I was in Florida. I played professionally for a few years around there, and felt like I was kind of spinning my wheels because Florida doesn't have much of a scene for what it is. And then I ended up getting hooked up with TMMP, Tammy Miranda, and she got me really busy. And then when I got out here, I found that there was a whole lot more work than I really thought there was. Well, now I'm playing 4 or 5 nights a week, and you know what? The rest is history. It's a good time. So.
Oh, good
Great.
deal, good deal. Well, we're glad that's going on with you. Well, let's hear another song here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, absolutely. This next song is for the record man up in Nashville. It's called Sam I Am. I got cameras all around me that just try and catch a glimpse of the money I didn't take, and how it never made much sense. With a face like that at only 23, we can make you something great. We can box you up and ship you out. Don't you sell out the first week. That's an original Michael Sam I Am.
Nice.
Yeah, sounded good. Sounded
Yes,
real
sir.
good. So how's the songwriting process work for you? Do you get a phrase, or do you get a tune first, or how does it work?
It's an act of God. It really doesn't matter. I can be making coffee in the morning or driving down the road or whatever, and sometimes it just hits like gold. You'll have a phrase where it comes out, and I like that song Jenny, my debut single. I think the first line I had in it was "Joel's a drink like a cheap James Dean," and I was like, man, that's kind of catchy. And then I came up with the guitar, and then so forth, and built from there. And they all come out a little bit differently as far as the creation process, but the majority is some divine intervention will come in, and I'll hear this hook, and I'll go from there. So
Nice.
anyway.
Now, are you one of these people that would say, hey, I need to get a song written today, and can you just sit down and write that song that you have to?
Tell you what, I've had one experience where a producer was telling me, look, man, we need a song, like a country song. I have a guy looking for it. Could you come up with a country song? And I said, I don't know, man. And I ended up writing one of my favorite songs out of that moment. And I don't know if it was out of desperation or Now, I will tell you, I have been on the spot trying to write one and not been successful. But every once in a while, I'll strike gold, and it's a good time.
Oh, that's great. That's great. There.
You really have a gift for the word.
Yeah, it's
for
getting
sure.
there. It's
Yeah.
getting there.
You mentioned Springsteen, you mentioned Bob Seger, and of course you're in the heart of Tom Petty Company, where you grew up in.
Of course.
As being influences on you, but you got that kind of rockabilly style going to you.
Yes, sir.
Where'd that come from?
Well, you know what? I wanted to do rock and roll, but I have such a southern accent. I had to kind of have the twang in with it. And I love the Brad Paisley kind of Vince Gill guitar thing. And my guitar player, he loves it too. And he's really talented at it. And so I said, you know what, man, we're going to make a rock and roll album. And if some of it's country, well, then it's country. And I guess it came out to be rockabilly, so can't complain.
Oh, it sounds good. It sounded
Thank
really
you,
good.
man.
I like the sound of it. And we're not real picky about where you fall and stuff around here. We always like to say we're pretty narrow-minded around here. We only play one kind of music, and that's good.
That's good music. I like that. That's good.
So, we do that. Well, we got to break away real quick and play a few bills at the bottom of the hour right here. And we got Houston King on right now. You want to make sure you come back and listen to some more of him. Don't go anywhere. It is good. Now, we have a lot of musicians that listen in also Houston. And I always like to tell everybody that they're not watching the videos what type of guitar you're playing right now.
Well, I got me a Gibson J35. Now, this is the predecessor to the 45 for all the guitar nerds out there.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm a Martin guy to my core, but you know, I ended up cracking my Martin down the body,
man.
which is unfortunate. Yeah, and my dad had this wisecrack idea of taking some super glue, some wood glue, and then putting a concrete block on it as a mason, and putting a concrete block on it and trying to fix that. Well, it didn't fix it at all, and so I ended up just buying this Gibson, and it's a beautiful guitar. I love it, but yeah, the J35.
I think your dad can fix it though. I think you give him another crack at it. He'll fix that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He scared me when he pulled it out of the center block. I said, "What are you doing, man?"
Oh, it's a great story though. That is
Yeah.
a great story there. Oh,
Little
man.
insulation and duct tape.
Yeah,
in there.
whatever. Just slap some mud on it and do it.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Oh, that is great. But you know, you got to like that about your dad. Though. Your dad's got that can-do attitude because he is a builder. He is
Yes,
stuff like that. And you have a little bit of that in you right now. You got to work for it. You know what
Yes, sir.
You know what
Yes,
hard
sir.
work can get you that way. You know, and so you're applying it to a different trade now.
Yes, sir. Well, I used to be a lot more tan because I've been working outside all the time. But yeah, you know, my dad, he's a big inspiration to me, and we've really gotten close over the past few years, and especially now that he's kind of seeing some success in what I do. He's behind me, backing me, you know, 100%. As long as I'm out here paying my own bills and doing it, you know, he's very proud of me, and it's a good time.
Get you off that paycheck or payroll.
Hey man, I need them checks. Better send them in the mailbox.
Now, I did notice that you at least have a sister, correct?
Yes, sir. I actually I got 3 brothers and a sister.
Oh wow! Now where do you fit in the range of the family?
So you got my sister, the oldest, and then I fall in line, and then I got my little brother Joe. He's probably 4 years younger than me, and then I got a 10-year gap between the other two.
Oh wow! Yeah. So you got some young
Man,
kids there. Yeah.
My mom, she's never gonna see the end of it.
So you're the
Poor lady,
oldest
poor
boy.
lady. Yeah, poor lady there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Now you're the only one that's moved down the state.
Well, no, my sister moved to Chicago, Illinois.
Oh,
so,
wow, yeah.
so, she moved out after she graduated from UF, and so anyway, after that, I was like, well, you know what, I better get out as well. So I moved out here to Texas.
That's good. Well, let's hear another song here.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Oh man, this next song is another one for the record, man. I assume this is why I'm not gonna be able to play in Nashville anymore, is because I just keep writing all the songs about the record man. But it's all good. We'll get there eventually. This next one's called Honest Smiles. This will be on the next record coming out. Got black polished shoes and money for miles. A rattlesnake handshake, a nose on his smiles. A switchblade stitcher with 2 big kids and words like a tattoo on your skin. And if I told her the truth, well, I'm telling a lie when I said you get rich if you get out alive. Thank you.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Julie Mercado, our friend from Miami, says, "Love it. I'm over here tapping my feet.
That's great.
You rock, Houston," is what she says.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're
perfect.
having fun too. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
What a great time there. What a great line in there. You keep me between the burning edge and gasoline.
Between the burning edge and the gasoline and the guillotine and the magazine.
That's a great line.
Now, did that come together all at once, or did you struggle to get that
Well,
together, or how that line came about?
This is not something I often talk about with songwriting, but at one point in my life, I was dating a redhead, and
I don't know if you need to say anything else now.
yeah, well, you know what? She's a beautiful girl, and she tried her best with me, but I tell you what, she's the inspiration for a lot of those kind of lines.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that is great. Oh man, you sound so good, and I know people out there are wanting to know more about you and how they can find out more. You got all the social media sites and all that kind of good stuff?
Man, I'll tell you what. I think if I wasn't a musician, I'd be a social media a business for that, I suppose. I don't know. You know, I do my best to keep up with it, but if anybody has a Snapchat or a Twitter or an Instagram or anything like that, you can find me at Houston Keen. That's Keen, like Robert Earl Keen, no E at the end, Keen. And if you want to find my Facebook, it's very easy. I got the little blue check, so you know it's me, all capital letters, Houston Keen. And we just dropped the single yesterday, so you can find it on Pandora, Spotify, and Apple Music, and all that other good stuff.
And the name of the single is again?
Jenny.
Jenny. Yeah, we want to make sure we know that too.
That's
Everybody knows that. Jenny. And
Is she the redhead?
No. Well, see, I got tired of being almost sued, so I just took all the crazy women in my life and put them into one woman, and then just named her something else, and that's what I write about now.
You are a smart young man.
and of course, I was talking to you all that I have the Bands in Town app, and that's where as a fan, I like going and finding bands like that. And in fact, I was up in close to Denver, Colorado this last weekend, and I pulled it out, and there was a band that had been on my show that was playing up in Denver.
Really?
So I popped in on them there. You know,
That's neat. I love Colorado.
Yeah, it was great. So you're on Bands in Town also, and
yes, sir.
What about some of the gigs you got coming up?
Let's see. Next week we're playing. I say we're. I guess it's just me.
Yeah.
Me and the guitar. We're playing 6th Street, Maggie Mays on Wednesday for happy hour.
Oh, got that happy hour gig again. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then tonight I'm in Drink, Texas, and tomorrow I'm at Freya's in North San Antonio. So.
Okay, now tell us again, where's Drink, Texas again?
Drink, Texas is in Bernie, Texas.
I got you.
I've just recently figured out how to say that correctly. I was saying
Bjorny.
I don't know what
Yeah.
this is. So anyway, Bernie, Texas tonight.
And what venue are you at there?
Drink, Texas.
Oh, it is. Oh, that's what it's called.
That's what
the
it's
venue.
called, Drink,
I
Texas.
thought it was the name of a little town or something.
No,
I said, I hadn't heard of that town.
That would make sense, though, right?
I hadn't heard of that town yet, yeah. Well, that's a good, beautiful drive out there to Bernie out there to that one. That'll be a great time. And they just need to check out because you're playing all over the place. You seem to play quite a few gigs.
Never stops. It don't matter if it's rain, shine, if I'm sick and coughing or dying. I got to be there and play.
You gotta be there and play, right? But you're living the dream, aren't you?
Man, I tell you what, there ain't no point in getting up unless you're living the dream.
And you talked about the relationship with your dad, and I know, as a parent, it's tough, to see your child take that leap of faith out here and follow their passion like that, and be concerned. But it sounds like he's good with it now.
Man, he is good with it, and I think he's always been good with it. But I think he just needed a little security with it, and now he's kind of seeing me here and there, and he really enjoys it, man. He goes, I go home and do homecoming shows, and the beauty in that is I've been gone for 3 or 4 months, and then I come home and I can sell out a 50-seat little theater in my hometown, which has never happened to me before, and it's an incredible experience, really.
Sure.
So my dad showed up to the homecoming show last time, and he just was blown away. He's like, I can't believe these people showed up. And I was like, me either, man. I don't know what the deal is.
Now, I bet Mom's always been in your corner, though.
Yeah,
you said that,
yeah. Mom, even when I didn't go to school and go to college or whatever, she always kind of just took it with a little grain of salt and said, he's young, let him do what he's got to do, and we'll catch up with it later, So, but she really is proud. She enjoys it. She actually. She helped me. She gave me the little advance to get the first batch of CDs printed up.
Oh,
and so,
okay.
Anyway, when they came in the mail, she's like, "Well, you owe me about 150 CDs, I guess." And so I had to gave her a box, and she handed them out to all her friends or whatever. So it was a good time.
That's great.
That's great. Now your grandmother's the one who got you started playing and stuff like that. Is she still listening to you and stuff?
She passed about a month ago.
Oh
so.
man, I was sorry.
Anyway, she's a big inspiration to me, and she's always a very joyful person and always lifted me up in that. She got me started on the lessons and the guitar, and I thank her every day for it. So.
That's awesome.
What a great legacy.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got time for another song here. You got another one in
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm like the jukebox today. This is a good time. Yeah, I got another song. This one's called Gasoline and Bourbon.
I'm noticing a theme here.
Well, you know what, man? Plays with fire and loves the matches. Anyway. That girl loves cigarettes and matches, burning things to ashes, has the sweetest smile that you'd ever know. A taste of gasoline and bourbon, it's my heart she has. you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds so good. Houston
I
King,
appreciate
man.
that,
Houston
man.
King.
Thank you.
Sounds good. No, you were talking about that you needed a guitar player in your band, but obviously you picked the guitar well.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I look like I play the guitar well until you see me with a real guitar player, and then you go, "Oh, okay, I get it now. I can hold my own when it comes to writing, and I guess playing a few chords. But man, I tell you what, my buddy Zach Petty, he's one of my best friends, and we recorded the album, wrote a lot of the album together, and he's always got fresh ideas, and he's a killer guitar player, man, just great.
And of course, like you, he's related to Tom.
Oh man, well, you know that's listen. If you get the Robert Earl Keen and the Tom Petty grandsons together, I mean, that's what we're doing.
That's
we're trying to get it
huge.
going.
That's awesome.
Now, with Robert King, you might want to just say son instead of grandson.
Somebody told me that. They said, well, son might be too close. I might have to go with uncle or something. Might be that.
Sounds great.
Oh, excuse me. It sounds so good. We are getting towards the end of the time here, though, but it really sounds good. And people that come out to see you, I mean, we're hearing higher energy. I mean, you're a lot. Is that what we need to expect to come and see?
Man, I tell you what, I'm a monkey jacked up on Mountain Dew, as Ricky Bobby says it. And I'll chug a Red Bull and I'll be ready to go. It's all rock and roll, you know.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It was such a great time. Any shout outs you want to make? Anybody want to say hi to that's maybe listening in today?
I just want to say a big shout out to Chiefland, Florida. That's my hometown, and
Yeah.
Gainesville, and Go Gators, and all that other good stuff. And I really appreciate you guys having me here this morning.
Oh man, it's been a great time out there in
Happy
Houston.
Mother's Day to your mom.
Yeah.
Man, to my mom and dad, they might see the end of this interview. I don't know. They might be sitting there 20 minutes in and go, I don't know, but they are listening. To mom and dad, thank you guys for
You
life.
bet. Well, we appreciate you being on the show.